There we go. Do you guys see the recording prompt on your screen?
Yes.
So it shows recorded. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of 1 Million Cups, Northeast Tarrant County. We are excited to be here this morning. Oh, I should probably turn on my camera. Hello. We are excited to be here this morning and grateful this weather and rain and awesomeness. And I don't know if any of you guys had to commute this morning, but there is apparently a funeral happening for an officer. And so all of Precinct Line Road is like blocked off. So if you are trying to access Precinct Line Road, FYI, until this is over, it's probably going to be chaotic. So our mission here at 1 Million Cups is to help aspiring or current entrepreneurs succeed in their endeavors by establishing a supportive space where they can test, tweak, or simply validate their idea while connecting them to similarly diverse, driven members of the community, such as yourselves. We want to ensure that any entrepreneur or wantrepreneur will have at least one clearly defined path to access education and resources within their community. How that works is every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock across the world, people get online, and there is typically 1 to 2 presentations that showcase who those entrepreneurs are. They are not here to sell. They are not here to ask for investment or to only gain exposure to their companies. They are here to share their business, their journey, milestones, and most importantly, their obstacles and barriers to success. Each presenter gets 6 minutes followed by 20 minutes of community Q&A for constructive feedback, questions, and advice. We also update with community events so that we can support what you have going on even outside of being a presenter. We want to thank our sponsors. We have been at the NRH library since July when we went hybrid, and today is our final day at the NRH library. So we want to thank NRH library for all of their support in helping us to go from all virtual landscape to a hybrid landscape. The North Texas Entrepreneur Training Center and Cultural Consultants for doing some of that back-end administrative type stuff. And of course, we also want to thank you guys for showing up every single Wednesday morning to support us. We would not be able to do the things that we do without this awesome group of organizers. If you are an organizer, give a wave, a shout, put up a reaction emoji so that we can see who you are. This is a dynamic group and they have been with us pretty much since 1 Million Cups got started. So this is your 1 Million Cups community organizing group. Thank you all so much for all your hard work. So now we will stop sharing and we will open up the room to see who's in the room, okay? What we like to do is first we ask for volunteers. If you would like to volunteer and give us your 15 seconds of who you are, the company you represent, or if you don't represent a company, just who you represent and how you learned about 1 Million Cups. So first we'll call for volunteers. Anyone want to volunteer? All righty, Miss Janice, go for it.
Good morning, everyone. This is Janice Spooner, Senior Vice President and Chief Production Officer at Providence Bank of Texas. Our world headquarters is in South Lake, but we are across and lend and help with new accounts all across the Metroplex. I love 1 Million Cups. I joined in before it even started so that I could be a part of this great group and really give back to our community with encouragement and positive feedback. So I am excited to be here. Thank you to our presenter today for joining us, and we look forward to that. But Janice Spooner.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janice. All right. Any other volunteers that would like to come on, give us your quick 15 seconds? Okay, we're calling on some people, so get ready. Ashley, how about you?
Hi there. Hoping you can hear me. My name is Ashley Heron. I am with Providence Bank of Texas. I'm actually here at the recommendation. I actually work for Janice Spooner. So I'm also involved in some other community activities as well outside of the bank, but I am here just to kind of see what you guys have and how you connect. And I know I've met a couple of familiar faces on here as well. So I appreciate y'all having me.
Awesome. And we do have, oh, she's kind of trying to get logged on. Michelle,
Yeah.
do you want to come and introduce yourself? We're going to do an introduction in the room.
Hi, my name is Michelle Holloway. I'm with Lifestyle Transitions, and it's my passion to keep the elderly population out of the hospital by preventing falls. I'm trying to sign on. Thank you for the intro.
Awesome. Impromptu is our game. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. Oh, I actually need to do a bio. So now I would like to introduce our dynamic speaker, our presenter for today. I am excited, and she can tell you all about herself, but her name is Miss Tanya. She is with the Church Source Global, and she comes from Florida. So she is actually looking to glean that test, tweak, idea, getting some input into her company. So because we are awesome people, we are going to make sure that Sonya feels the love of the Northeast Tarrant County community, right? Yes, we are. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to introduce Miss Sonya as our speaker for today. Give me just a second. I am going to pull up her presentation, and Sonya, I am going to give you creative or control if you are able to.
I can't. I'm on that phone.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll make it work. So you can just let me know when you want me to advance it. Can you guys see that okay? Yes, no, maybe so. Awesome. Okay, Miss Sonya, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Sonya Culver, and I represent Kingdom Source Global. Well, it's actually Church Source Global, doing business as Kingdom Source Global. And I bring you warm greetings from Orlando, Florida. I am indeed honored to be afforded this opportunity to share the mission of my business with you, with the Tarrant community, the Tarrant region, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so I'll move right into the purpose. Under the purpose of KSG is to support and advance the objectives or the vision of faith-based businesses for greater impact. So primarily by cultivating and pioneering new and improved paths to vision fulfillment is basically what the mission or the purpose of KSG is. The problems, you can move on. The problems that I see or that my business address would be a lack of professional development in church back office and operations, because sometimes they're often limited as far as their level of exposure to general business etiquette and implementing certain things based on their membership. So there I find that there is a lack of professional development in just overall church business. Also, the problem addressed deals with the lack of ethical and moral development in the private Christian educational system, And similar to the lack of professional development, it also has a limited base or point of reference as far as the degree of accountability systems that are in place to make sure that they are doing exactly what is correct and what will benefit everybody involved. And the last problem addressed would be the lack of opportunities for private Christian educational systems to have like team building and professional development outside of their normal arena. So I'm looking for a balance. I'm trying to address a balance within the faith-based community, not just Christian, but also professional, to get a balance so that the excellence can come forth. The next slide deals with some of the solutions that KSG provides. I try to create a system to educate and to motivate volunteers, to establish reporting systems to keep ministries updated. I also will introduce biblical-based professional development tools and resources that private Christian schools or churches or nonprofits can implement, and also to introduce kingdom solutions to the team building process with systems that they could follow through on. And so the next slide just kind of deals with my experiences and how I differ. So I am a licensed and ordained minister. I've been in education, both public and private, for about 20 to 28 years. I have a Master of Science in Human Resource Management. I have about 15 plus, almost 20 years in church leadership. And so the main thing I think is the distinguishing factor would be, I would be based on just love, on God's love, because we know the Bible says love builds up, love supports, love corrects, love doesn't tear down. So the basis of how I support would be just to love them into greatness, to love them, not to point out, not to judge, not to tear down, not to have all the struggles that you see in the normal business world, but in a way that's supportive, that's in a way that's inviting and encouraging to change for the better, so that, you know, that God can be glorified even the more. So the next slide kind of gives the market size. Just looking at United States, there are about 34,000 schools or Christian schools in the United States. And specifically, since I'm in Florida, there are about 507 schools or private Christian schools in Florida. And so my goal is very moderate, 10%. So I'm looking at about maybe 50, trying to touch at least 50 within the state of Florida. And that's just looking at schools. Of course, they are private Christian schools. They are attached to churches. Most of them are attached to a ministry. So I also target churches and nonprofits, or anybody that is Christian based, that their business is based on their purpose, their assignment. They feel like they're doing what they've been called to do. And so that's my mission, to undergird, to come behind, to support, to lift up, to strengthen, to help just them fulfill their mission in a greater and a better way. The next slide, my target audience basically are educators, administrators, staff, anybody within the school system, any Christian schools. Other organizations include churches, nonprofits, any social enterprises. Just like I said earlier, any faith-based business would be my target audience. And so how would I do that in my offerings, my business offerings? Of course, I offer workshops, would include a type of retreat or a couple of day retreats, one-on-one peer counseling or consulting, of course, speaking engagements, partnerships will be the offerings that I will actually engage clients in order to offer them the services that I offer. My market strategy, which is the next slide. In order, I address retention, revenue, and referral. So in retention, I basically right now at this point in my business, I use my networks that I currently have connections with, the Christian Chamber of Commerce, the African American Chamber of Commerce. So those people that I'm connected, Nehemiah Project. So those people or those networks that I'm currently attached to, I use them to build a sales pipeline for right now, as well as, you know, friends and contacts. For revenue, I look at schools. I will build them on a net 30. and also individuals, they will be billed on the same day of service. As far as referrals, my goal is social media and email marketing to build a sales funnel. My next slide is how can you help me? My ask is simply feedback and thoughts regarding the services that I offer. What are some ways to attract clientele and to grow upon my fully launching in 2022? And another way I'm asking you to assist is to join my mailing list and commit to responding with feedback for at least one newsletter. And this is not a spam news list or email list. You will only get a newsletter once a month. So you will commit to just responding with feedback regarding what you see or what I put out, and just to help me in order to critique or to curtail what needs to be addressed so that I can so that I can engage a greater market. And so all the information is on the screen, my name, my email, and the landing page. If you would just click on that, it will take you straight to the landing page where you will ask for some information, and you will be a part of that contact list. So I am open. I try to get through, I think you said 7 minutes. I am open to questions, feedback, support, any of my asks. I am definitely ready to receive.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sonya, for that presentation. Let's give Sonya a round of applause. Amazing, amazing presentation. So we are going to go into our Q&A portion. I am actually going to turn it over to Miss Camille, who will guide us through the Q&A. Before Camille takes over, I have a question. So, Sonya, what led you to choose this path? And the reason I ask is because, like, I'm a faith-based person, right? So I do a lot of my organizational type dealings through biblical teachings of my own. But I am very intrigued because it is a unique lane to go into, because a lot of times people don't know how to separate ministry from business. So what made you go into that field of business?
I'm going to say purpose, first of all. My experiences as far as being an educator for the first half or the first part of my educational career was in education. And then I was afforded several opportunities within the education system that took me outside of the classroom, where I served as a facilitator, as a resource teacher, where I worked more with teachers and staff. And I found that to be a strength. I was able to do things that I didn't know I could do. I was able to put together things I didn't know I could do. So God used that as a way of bringing out of me that creativity, that motivational piece. And so from that job kind of phased out, I guess you would say, and it turned into more of a basically paper type test type job that I really hated. And so I had to actually pray and ask God, what was the connection between what I was doing and what would that equate to in the business world? And that ended up being human resource management, the portion or the part of it that deals with training, mentorship, development. And so that's what caused me to go and get a master's in HR. When I got that master's, God told me that was for the church. And so I was not able to get a job in the normal business arena. He opened up opportunities within leadership in the church. So I ended up being the chief of staff over ministry of several years, that I was able to do retreats and workshops. And God was just using stuff to just begin to flow. And I was just in my lane, enjoying it. And so it was like, you need to package this and offer it to other, churches and ministries, because this is something that we need. And so that's kind of how I began stepping into this lane. And so I ended up, because God told me when I initially got the HR degree, it was for the church. That's where I got Church Source Global from. And so later on, after it didn't actually launch like I thought it should have launched, I had to, seek more wisdom and more understanding. And he said, no, it's bigger than the church. Church is too limited. You're not impacting just the church. You're impacting my community, the kingdom of God. And we are in every area of business. We're in banking, we're in arts, we're in every part. And so it's not just church. Church limits you, and I'm an unlimited God. is what I heard. So that's why we switched into a DBA, Kingdom Source Global. Hopefully I answered that question. Did I answer that question?
Thoroughly, thank you. Camille?
Miss Camille, you're still on mute.
Sorry. Shouldn't I be on mute because of yours? Yeah.
So Cynthia has a question.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for coming and presenting. Great job. I wanted to
you.
ask you, you listed several target markets.
Mhm.
If you had to rank those in order of priority, how would you rank those?
I will rank the Christian schools first, because most of them are connected to a ministry, a private Christian school. So they are connected to a church. And then after that would be nonprofits or churches in general, without a school, just, churches, ministries, and then any nonprofits.
Sonya, I apologize. It was on mute. Could you say your first one over again for us?
Oh, the first one was Christian schools, because they're often attached to a church. And so they have the basic foundational principles and my target as far as what my materials serve. And so it would be basically Christian school to be first. And then after that, of course, any other churches that's not attached to a Christian school, but they just want to be more excellent. They want to, they believe they're doing what God called them to do. And so I just want to support and lift up their arms. And then any nonprofits that's kingdom based, that's, doing what they're doing because they believe they're called to it.
Okay, and how long have you been in business?
With Kingdom Source Global,
Yes.
this is my launching now. I actually started as Church Source Global, and I was just a trial and error type of season. Well, I was trying to feel my way, and a lot of it was based on what I had done in the church and volunteered. And so my mind was kind of limited and just basically to church where I was. So I needed to expand my vision. So now I'm launching now, which is going to really be 2022 when it fully launches as Kingdom Source Global. And so now it's open into not just churches, but kingdom minded or kingdom businesses overall.
Okay, Sonya, what do you think?
You went on mute. You're on mute.
Camille, you're on mute. There you are.
You want me to unmute?
You mute.
Okay. So Sonya, what do you think will be your biggest challenge?
I said, well, at first it was marketing, just trying to get on the inside what I saw on the inside on the outside. So that was my major hurdle. So now that I'm kind of surpassing that hurdle, so now it's basically the networking, how to just get the vision out in a clear and concise way so that I attract the right clientele.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, Shay.
Good morning, great presentation. So when it comes to assisting the schools, what avenue or what resource can you provide as a free resource or a teaser so that they can see what your competency and also the benefits of being able to use your organization?
That's a great question. I actually hadn't put together anything, but I guess I could put together like a package or do like a mini speech or speaking engagement just to kind of get a feel, and they can kind of see where I'm going to want more. So I kind of have that set up within my system, as far as I have like speaking engagements that's attached. It's like a part one, then it's attached to a workshop that will give you more. So I guess I could use that same system and offer like a 30-minute or something teaser, like you said, like a, introduction to how I can actually come in, motivate, assist, support the services that I offer. But great job. Thank you. I really need to actually include that. Thank you so much.
Questions for Sonya?
Yes.
Janice?
Great job, Sonya. I was actually just trying to look you up on the web. That's just where everything is going these days. This old dinosaurs getting a little bit more proficient in that. Do you have a website? Did I miss that?
We're currently working on it.
Okay.
So, we'll fully launch in January 2022. So we're still in that process of getting everything together. This is like one of my first introductions of Kingdom Source Global officially.
Well, great job on your presentation. You were very clear and concise, so well done. I would say definitely when you get your website up, to make sure you provide testimonials. Obviously, that's huge.
Yes.
And sharing that vision and that success with the world, but also in regards to you and how you're going to market. I know you said you were getting through, you cut out just a little bit. I know you said you were getting through some of those challenges. What all are you looking for or trying to get to in regards to marketing to get the word out for your business?
Well, we're starting out with the email alert. We're going to have put out on social media and hopefully get others to sign up based on their level of interest or a topic of interest. And based on that, to send out newsletters with more information of services that will be offered or just information that they could glean from to use in their kingdom-based business.
Okay, and all of the great service that you've done thus far, leading you to this point, God preparing you for that. What are your resources in regards to your previous experience, whether it was in leadership, pastoring, leading? What resources can you go back from and pull to really help you get the word out now?
Well, I served about 8 years as the chief of staff. So I have a lot of material that I put in. I had like maybe 8 leadership retreats with different themes. So I can pour from some of that stuff just to put together of like a portfolio type thing with pictures and some of the things I do. I don't know if you can see it since I'm on my phone, but an example of that would be a retreat is more like a production kind of for me, because I like to engage participants. I like to use something that would cause them to remember it and want to go back and hurry up and implement it. And so the way I try to do it is I come up with a theme. So here's an example of a retreat I did. It was called An Invitation to Greatness, Take the Lead. And so my hook was the NASCAR. And so what I did, for an example, this was, I don't know if you can see it, this was the booklet that I put together. And so it had information, in here. They had a time that they had to do activities. So they needed a survival guide with NASCAR terms. They had to answer things. But the activities was all revolved around NASCAR. So of course our information is limited on that, but I related it to whatever the objectives was of that retreat, whatever the, teamwork, whether it was, accountability, whatever we try to pick at least 3 objectives to focus on. And so they had a guide and some of the pictures, they had a good time. We actually went to the NASCAR place in Daytona. And so we took, just to bring it all home, all that. So we actually started out, they received the Team NASCAR Award after completing the actual retreat. Of course, I put together a team And so normally, since I had a team, and so this was my team, and we kind of was the pit stop, that this was the planning team that planned the whole thing together. And so it was a 2-day retreat. And so it was just based on, last start, I've based several retreats like on basketball, on Mission Impossible with the agent type theme. So it just depends, you just try to bring a theme in to kind of just bring them in, and then you relate it, you connect it. So they're like, oh, okay. And they kind of see things, and they'll kind of send you emails like, I was watching that. And, they said this, and I remember, it's just really exciting to kind of get adults into learning mode.
Right. Well, I don't want to be a question hog, but I'm going to ask one more and then y'all can mute me. But in regards to all of the people and I consider resources my centers of influence, my chambers, this great group. I mean, the list is long and expansive for me, but as I lead my team here at the bank, those warm referrals, those warm are so much better than just cold. I can do cold calling too, but just having someone truly, say, I know Sonya, she does a great job. Here's her leadership style. So I would just say, make sure that you build that with your circle of influence. Church, nationally, whatever the case may be that you have, to really, that's where you're going to get the quickest, from my perspective, growth and exposure out there. It's people need to know that you're of good standard, quality, faith-based. You live what you say. I think that would really help your business from my perspective.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Yes.
Sure.
Okay, Shay, you had another question?
Yes, I did. I totally agree with a lot of the things that Janice was saying. I did look on your landing page and I saw that LinkedIn was the social media platform that you used. So I'm not in the sector. I don't have that type of business is what I'm saying. So is that where most of your contacts are? As far as schools and everything, is that the best social media platform for you?
No, I'm going to also have a Facebook page as well, but I do have warm contacts with churches I've been associated with leaders that I've served over and with that are also part of other ministries that can also be a warm contact. I've also have friends that have nonprofits that I filled in for one that she had a speaking engagement that she was doing as far as a community effort for free because she's a profit business, but she had to go out of town. So of course she tapped me. It was a church school. And so I was able to go to that school, and that was another resource that I got, a connection that I made with that particular school because they sent back a great referral and said, we would want to use you again in the future. Of course, that was free also for me, but that was a chance to get exposure.
Okay, we had an online question for you, Sonya. What does success look like for you?
Seeing in the natural what I see on the inside or in my spirit.
Okay.
I see it, in my thoughts and my dreams, but I'm working to see it in the natural.
Okay. Jason, you had a question?
Yep. So video presence is kind of king on social media right now. I didn't hear that you mentioned anything about YouTube content or something like that. Do you have any plans to do that? I mean, just because your presentation was very good, I think your videos would be very strong. If you can invest the effort to do that and find ways to make content, I think that would be great for your cause.
Sure. Yes, I agree. Thank you so much. I will take that into consideration. Of course, we're still in the, forming stages.
Right.
So we will definitely include some type of segment with to include videos, some type of YouTube or pre-recorded. I'm not sure how we'll incorporate it, but I do think that would be very important because they need to see it in action.
Right.
In order to get that, energy.
Okay, great. Well, that was a great presentation. If we don't have any more questions,
Jason, and then you got one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sonya, this is Carla. What is your contact information? Because it was up there briefly and I wasn't able to write it down.
Okay, it is phone number is 407-773-4155. And the email is my name, Sonya, SONYA, at Kingdom Source Global, just straight Kingdom Source Global .training. And I think it's dropped in the chat. I saw someone drop my information in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jason, did you have another question? Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Darlisa. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn it over to Jack now for announcements.
All right, thanks, Camille, and great to see everybody here today. Let's start off with Chelsea. You got a couple things going on, something big going on tomorrow. So let everybody know what's happening at your luncheon.
Yes, can you hear me? I'm on a different, oh, perfect. I'm on a different microphone today. We have our monthly luncheon. It is the first Thursday of every month, and we are honoring our veterans, and we have a veterans panel that will be talking to us tomorrow, and that is at Colleyville Center. Lunch starts at 11:30, and program is from 12 to 1. We'd absolutely love to see y'all. Bring door prizes, bring business cards. It's a good time. And then we also have our WOW Women of Worth event from 10:30 to 1 p.m. on November 17th at the New Weston in South Lake. We are so excited. It is the theme this year is the greatest story I've ever told, Tales of Overcoming. So we have 4 women that are coming to talk about some of their things that they have overcome in their life and in their business. So we are very excited about that and happy to be here this morning. Woo-hoo.
All right, all right. Very good. We've got some exciting things happening at the Center NTX. Grand opening, ribbon cutting. We're switching, 1 million cups to the location next week. So, Darlisa or Janae, if you want to just let us know what's going on with that.
Okay, so yes, as Jack mentioned, the Center North Texas is officially opening. Woohoo! So you are welcome to join us at both events. So we have the ribbon cutting happening next Wednesday at 1 o'clock as part of Global Entrepreneurship Week. So you are welcome to come, and you are also welcome to join us for the grand opening, which will be a little more festive. We'll have some games, we'll have raffles, we'll have where you can paint, like paint with a twist type thing. We'll do some 3D printing, protege type things. You'll be able to do a customized business resource plan, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you are available November 13th, join us for the grand opening, and November 10th for the ribbon cutting. Thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you. Very, very excited. We know it's been a bit of a struggle, and there's some obstacles and challenges that you have had to overcome, but we know that makes you stronger and better. So we are just looking to supporting you and being part of that, and doing everything we can to get the word out.
Thank you, Jack.
So just one other thing, now that we are in November, it's like the fast track slide to holiday season, right? And we've got a couple chamber members, Legend Bank and Troy Dunn Insurance. They are putting on a community mixer and gift drive. And that happens next Tuesday. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We just want you to bring a toy. It benefits the Community Richmond Center. And those of you that know the Community Richmond Center know the great work that they do for families all over Northeast Tarrant County. So the information is in the chat. There is a link to their Facebook page. Go ahead and put in there that you're going to go. Even if you can't go, you can drop a toy off early. So we're really excited about this. It's time to mix and mingle, get in the spirit, drop off a toy, give a child a smile this holiday season. And if you do get to the Facebook page, please share it on your page as well. And I think that is it, Camille. So I will back to you and Darlisa.
One more thing, Global Entrepreneurship Week, and Camille was getting ready. She's putting it in the chat for us, but Global Entrepreneurship Week starts next week. So if you guys have not registered, go to the gewfortworth.org website. Some amazing events taking place from the 7th through the 12th, and then the grand opening happens at the end. But Global Entrepreneurship, I think we end up so far at our last meeting, the events were up to like 132 events. So go to the website, register, check out all of the events that are happening. There is also a pitch competition that is happening. So if you are a startup company, or, you know, you don't have to be a startup, I don't think, but check out that pitch competition. If you could benefit from being one of the presenters, go for it. But check out Global Entrepreneurship Week. It starts on Sunday.
All right, great event. Thank you, Darlisa. All right, back to.
I think I'm going to close this out
Elizabeth.
today, Jack. Yes,
Right.
I haven't been on here for a while, so it's so good to see so many familiar faces. Yay! And I'm on Darlisa's computer. I'm going to let you take us to the final slides. But first of all, we are always looking for presenters. So if anyone who is on here would like to present, please come to our website at 1millioncups.com/NE Tarrant County and sign up to be a presenter. We do have quite a few already in the pipeline. So we're booked out about a month, which is really awesome. We're getting presenters come in our email each and every week. So we appreciate that. But please continue to sign up to be a presenter. Okay, let's see here. All right, and then of course, the Center NTX next week, starting next week, we are moving locations for 1 Million Cups. So next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Please, please, all of you who are online, this is our chance to support our sweet Darlisa. She was the catalyst for this 1 Million Cups community. And so I encourage all of y'all who are here in person and online to come out and support her next week. We will be at 5555 Roof Snow Drive. I heard Craig doing that jingle last week. I was like, man, this is a jingle waiting to happen. So just please join us there, and we look forward to seeing y'all in person next week.
There will be a hybrid option.
There will also, yes, there will be a hybrid option still available. You don't have to come. I'm just encouraging it if you guys are able to come in person. And then finally, as always, please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Camille and our crew do a great job of making sure everybody knows who will be presenting each and every week. And so if you are not linked into us there, please go ahead and join us online on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And that's all I got. Anything else, anybody? I think we're good. All right, guys, so good to see y'all. And we will hopefully see you next week in person at 5555 Roof Snow Drive, the Center NTX. See y'all later. Okay. Too much going on.
Bye, guys.